Mike, I thought about you, and I know I wasn't the only one. Over the holiday weekend, a video dropped on the Rob Built channel. Rob
Mhm.
Abasolo from formerly the host of the Bigger Pockets podcast, and it
Mhm.
had Ryan Pineda on there, who I
Yep.
know you guys know each other well, and talking about some things that kind of surprised me. And I think a lot of people probably reached out to you about this because I can't remember the
Yeah.
exact title. The title of something like, "Is one rental at a time dead?" And so, of
Yes.
course, I had to click on that. Like, what do you mean dead? Like, that means we're all doing something that, we're doing it wrong, or what are we doing here? So anyway, what are your thoughts about that video?
Well, I think first off, so obviously, if people don't know, this dropped when Olivia and I were in Alaska, and I wasn't watching YouTube, right? I was enjoying our trip with some friends, and I think I had eight to ten texts, and not a lot of people have my phone number, but I got 8 to 10 different texts from people saying things ranging from "Hey, you got to check this out" to "Oh my God, so and so said one rental at a time is dead," right? So and then lots of people follow me on Instagram, and I think I had like 40 messages, 40 DMs saying, "Hey, check this out." And
Okay.
again, different messages. So, of course, I checked it out, and yeah, Ryan Pineda. I would say Ryan Pineda and I are friends. I've spoke at his event. He helped me my year one at my event. He's been on my channel half a dozen times, me on him. So we know each other fairly well. And I don't know Rob. I don't know Rob at all. I haven't spoken with him. Hopefully, I'll speak with him one day, but I don't know him at all. But I guess my first take from the video was it was Ryan being Ryan. And what I mean by that is no slight. I don't when I think about Ryan Pineda, I don't think he understands how much of a unicorn he is.
Yeah.
Right? I have known tens of thousands of people interacting in my career, my education, consulting, all these other things. And Ryan Pineda is a unicorn, right? There's not many people, for example, who could build up a following and out of nowhere create a brand new business called M19, which is his golf mastermind. I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea what that's generating, but I guarantee you it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? There's not many people on the planet who can have an idea, execute it, and generate multiple six figures probably in a weekend. So for him, right, if you step back and think about him, I think he's right. I think absolutely the right thing for the unicorns of the world is to focus on top line revenue. Where I think Ryan misses, and we've had this conversation publicly and privately, is, and I always look at myself saying, I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have that risk profile. I don't I don't have these lightning, in a bottle moments where I can create a business. I don't have that risk tolerance. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And so I guess the first thing I thought about after watching it I was shocked at a couple of things that were kind of said, but at the end of the day, Ryan spoke his truth, and his truth is his truth, and I'm not going to step back and judge a man for speaking his truth. So good for him.
Yeah, and I think that so at first, when I first watched it, I thought I'm like, are you saying that wholesaling is a better way to make money and build wealth than buying real estate one rental at a time and holding long term? And I'm like, no, no, that's absolutely not. Because like when I first got into the business, one of the best favors that was ever given to me back in the day was when the people I worked for at the time and my brokerage were like, okay, you're making money selling houses. You need to invest that into buying real estate. That is where the wealth is made long term. And but selling real estate or flipping or wholesaling, those are active jobs. And for a lot of us, the goal is to get out of that because we don't want to do the massive hustle grind that takes to keep that going or build that in the first place. But then I watched it again and then I realized, no, he's not really saying that, although it kind of sounds like it because you're saying like he hates the one rental at a time, the slow. And I could see for him that would be incongruous with his personality because he is that entrepreneur. He's one of the, one of the few that can rise to the top and be really successful. But for most people to be able to like, oh, it's very easy to just sit back and say, oh, you just, you wholesale a house, make 50 grand, just do that 10 times, you got $500,000 and then maybe then you buy it. It's like, for most people, it's like, that isn't going to mesh together, or it's not something they want to do. So, or like for me, I can sell a house and sell a, $1 million house around here that might be $25,000 or so. And you do that a bunch of times and that's good and everything, but it's also really hard to be successful doing that because so many are trying. And I don't know how many successful wholesalers there are in our area, but I know I get a lot of them that are horrible trying to reach out to me. But, and people taking seminars and things. And honestly, the first time I watched that, I don't know Ryan, but it sounded like somebody maybe trying, it probably isn't fair. When I went back through, I kind of revised my thinking, but it sounded like somebody was trying to sell a coaching program for wholesaling. And I'm like, sometimes you hear the gurus kind of shift their, we've been seeing it for a while now, where it's syndication, Airbnb. And then it's like, okay, now it's wholesaling because those things aren't working anymore. And it's like, that's my first thought. And maybe that is, maybe that isn't. I don't know what he's doing with that, but
so again, I'm not going to step back and judge a man for speaking his truth, but what I heard Ryan say or really indicate, and actually I agree with, is if you're going to do the work to find a great deal, like, and you can prove that you can do that, and you're just doing the quote unquote one rental at a time way, you can only do one of those a year. And then your skills you're going to get lazy. You're going to stop doing it. So one of the ways you could look at what Ryan is saying is, hey, if you are a one rental at a time fan and you have a buy box and you have the daily discipline and you're writing lots of offers and you get your deal, keep going. Because if you can get great deals, you know this, I know this. If somebody really brought you a great deal, you would find a way to get it done. And the person that brought it to you probably peels off a couple of grand. And, I think there's some truth in that. And frankly, I've always told people to keep looking at their buy box every day, even if they have no money, because you just never know when that deal of a decade comes up and you'll find a way to get that done. That might be wholesaling. That might be taking on a partner. That might be getting a 401k loan. That might be getting a loan against your paid off car. I've done all of those things.
Yeah.
So, again, I think there's some truth in that. What really hurt was the notion kind of captured in the title, one rental at a time is dead. And that's just absolutely not true. Buying one rental at a time for a year, for a decade, for the last 100 years, and dare I say for the next 100 years, will be the best way for most people to build long-term wealth. But to Ryan's point, we're not trying to build wealth for tomorrow. I am not telling you that buying one rental, that even if it just breaks even because you did your numbers wrong, that's not going to make you rich. But if you hold it for a decade and you add a second and a third and you get that escape velocity with multiple units, the math is certain. You will be rich eventually.
Yeah.
And that's what I think was missed. And that's where I think Rob could have pushed back a little bit more.
Yeah.
I actually heard from Ryan because I called Ryan on this, and Ryan said that the actual interview was an hour and 15 minutes and only,
interesting. Okay.
I don't know, 25 minutes were published. So clearly there's stuff on the chopping floor. So maybe he did push back. I don't know. But again, it all boils down to Ryan Pineda being a unicorn. And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. He has found his unique gift. And the man could lean in and he could have a spur of a moment idea and he can make $1 million.
Yeah. And he's not wrong. That's what you got to do if you want to scale fast.
Yes.
And the one rental at a time is a slow and steady process. It's the delayed gratification. I thought the comparison of saying like, well, if you make $200 a month off this rental, then it's like, what's the point of that? But you're failing to look at the long term. So, exactly. And both of us have been doing it for decades. So you see that it gains a momentum and grows far bigger while we're sleeping, to where now the gains are happening whether we're awake or sleeping, and it just, you don't have to do any hustling to find
Inflation is
deals,
a
but you can if you
fear,
want, but
not
you
a
can
bug.
also opt out.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just, again, it really goes back to the fact that there's a 3-step process to get wealthy. And step 1 is create more discretionary income. And to Ryan's point, you can either grow income, grow active income, which is what he's all about, or you could cut expenses, is what I did, or you can do both.
Yeah.
Right? Because unless you can create that investable capital,
Yeah.
nothing else matters.
Yes. And to his credit, he did say, I didn't really hear it the first time around, but I went back and he did say, once you have that money built up, then maybe you can buy long-term rentals
then you park it.
or other things. He said, you can invest it in other types of investments, but and that is true. Like it is great if you can find a way to get that extra capital, whether it's selling real estate, flipping real estate, wholesale, or whatever your thing is, getting really, really good at your day job and making more money, getting your expenses down so you can save more and build it. But they're definitely, real estate is wonderful for people who can have the 2 marshmallows later versus the 1 marshmallow now analogy. Like if you can do that, it will make you millions over the long term.
I couldn't agree more. And that's step 2 of the getting wealthy formula is you got to become a lead at something. Like, again, I don't know Rob at all, but I hear he's an Airbnb guru and, he does unique things and he's pickleball courts and all this great stuff. Great. If you can become a top 1% Airbnb host with unique properties, you're probably going to kill it. Yeah. If you can become a top 1% social media person like Ryan and spin businesses off left, right, and center, great. You're going to kill it. But you know what? If you're, an average employee like me, who is willing to make sacrifices for a decade, create, capital, have a very tight buy box and buy 1 deal a year, you can get wealthy. The math is on your side. I don't think most people are Rob and Ryan. I think most people are me.
The vast majority are not, and that's okay. I think a lot of what I enjoy about your channel is it's regular folks telling other regular folks how it can be done.
And we're not making crazy
unicorns
promises
among us, who are able to do unicorn things, but we're all regular folks who started with nothing, and built something.
Amen.
And it happened just a little bit here and a little bit there, and you get better and your skills grow over time and you meet the right people. But I know we're all about encouraging the people out there who are like, I don't know how to wholesale. And it's like, you know what? That's cool. You don't have to do that. Yeah. You can do it just doing what you do. Just do it a little better, maybe a little differently, and learn a few new skills by knowing the right people and putting the work in. And over time, it builds something. And that's not as sexy, but it feels pretty damn good when it starts coming together and you get that momentum and you're seeing the results.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just the right answer for most people, Beth. You know that. I know that. I even think Ryan knows that. I think Ryan knows he is, I don't know if he knows he's such a unicorn, but I think he sees the difference between an entrepreneur and an employee because we've talked about it a bunch. And I just think for most people, live below your means, become good at one thing, do it for a decade, get rich. And I think that's just the right answer for most people. And the problem I have with the conversation is that was made out to be slow. And that's not fair. We live 100 years. It's only one season. It's only one decade. And if you could make a sacrifice for a decade to live like nobody else for 50 years, I'll make that trade every time. So I did not appreciate that undertow of it being slow. You could have said it's certain, right? And yes, it takes longer.
Yeah.
The other thing I think about go ahead.
Oh, just, the whole example of you're making $200 on this rental, it's like, well, maybe when you buy it, but then you do things over time to increase your return, rents go up, you
it's
optimize
not about the
it,
200.
There's value of the property goes up, you get your tax write-offs, all the principal pay down, all these other things that you get. He knows that. So, but he's a fast-paced go-getter from what I know. And, and he's able to do these things that, that can help him do more faster. And for some people, that's what they get, that's what keeps them fueled. So And but it's a very small personality. This, only a few of those, we don't want to discourage the regular folks out there into thinking like, well, rentals don't work now. It's not true. All you got to do is look around in this community and you see people doing it now and always doing it.
Yeah. I'm reminded of something Pace Morby told me one time. And Pace said, it all starts with knowing thyself. And I didn't really understand what Pace meant by that. But when I think about, if I try to put myself in Ryan's shoes and then my shoes as a comparison, you got to know thyself. And for Ryan, what Ryan said on that episode is 100% the right move for him. It would be the 100% wrong move for me. I would end up in bankruptcy with probably anxiety, and my family relationship would be destroyed. I mean, you got to know thyself. And I was an employee who liked the steady drip of a paycheck, and I was willing to do the hard work, live below my means, sacrifice, and be made fun of so that I could buy one asset a year. I've done it now for 25 years, and I could tell you, worth it.
Yes. I don't know anybody out there who would say, nah, shouldn't have done it. It's people who've been doing the work for decades and now has a portfolio of investment property. Never met one. In fact, the only thing anybody ever says is, I wish I'd done it sooner.
I bought more.
Wish I bought
I
more.
wish I bought more.
I wish I didn't say no to that one. I wish I'd made the deal work. Those are the things that you hear.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. After watching the video multiple times, seeing the title, obviously the title was meant to be pretty catchy. I guess I'll ask the question this way, Beth. Do you think one rental at a time is dead?
Absolutely not. I vehemently oppose that concept.
Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, for me, folks, the wealth formula has never changed. Step one is you got to create investable capital called discretionary income. You could do that the Ryan Pineda way, just focus on more active income. You could do it on the whack expenses, which is what I chose to do, or you can go ahead and do both. Once you do that, step two is you got to become elite at something. Are you going to be Rob in his unique Airbnbs? Are you going to be somebody who focuses on a buy box in one city like me? Or you become a top 1% agent like Beth? And then, folks, step three, y'all hate step three, but it is the most important. You got to do it for a decade. It's that simple.
Look how fast the last 10 years went by.
Exactly.
We're going to be alive anyway, folks.
Invest like it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where can people find you, Beth?
Yeah, I'm easy to find. People can look at BethTraversogroup.com and reach out to me there, or just Google my name and you'll find me across social media, etc. And I'm in the school group too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Don't forget to join school. We've got 480 wealth builders, networking, asking questions, all that fun stuff. Beth's inside there. Take care.